Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're going to go ahead and do a gameplay review, initial review on a traditional style game, Web 2.0 style game, on it called TerraScape. This is a city builder strategy style game where you're going to go ahead and try and build out your city based on some of the cards that you're going to get. And you have to make sure you put them in the right spot. You're going to do different links, and you're basically building out, seeing how far you can build out a city throughout the game. If you're not aware, I really like city builder strategy style games. So I wanted to go ahead and start getting a little more of those on my channel. I know this is a traditional style game, so some of you are very used to me doing a Web 3.0 style games. So this is a little bit of a twist. So I wanted to make sure I do call that out early. This is traditional. There is no play to earn on this one. It's just for entertainment purposes. So I'm trying to do a little more of those. Just kind of link the two genres together. And like I said, if down in the comments below, if you have any suggestions of city builders or strategy style games, we're talking about like SimCity, things like this, other Factorio, things like that, I really enjoy. So if you have any suggestions for those, go ahead and put them down in the comments down below. But let's go ahead and talk about this game itself. It's out there on Steam. It's an early release, so please understand that as we're testing it out. I played for about 5 or 10 minutes, so we're actually getting a first viewpoint of the game together, so you can have an idea if it's a game that you want to go ahead and test out. If you like this and we get enough likes on the video itself, we'll go ahead and do more videos around TerraScape, just to kind of do some building out some cities together, and maybe I'll do some longer sessions where we can go ahead and either stream them or really put some really long content out there. So let me know down in the comments below if this is something that you're going to go ahead and like, and also go ahead and like and subscribe if it's something you're interested in. Let's go ahead and jump into the game. Again, it's on Steam right now, early release. I believe it was $12.99 to go ahead and grab. Again, this is not financial advice, so please make sure you're doing your own research before you jump into any games or buy any games. There we go. We got that disclaimer out of the way. So let's go ahead and jump into the game itself. We are logging in here for the first time. We're loading up. So it is coming up here, and this is the first screen that you're going to see. You're going to have a number of choices as you're going ahead through here. You can go ahead and play single mode. You can go ahead and load a previously loaded game, play multiplayer if you have a bunch of friends that are also playing, and then we have different settings. With the settings are pretty traditional settings. You can go ahead and check the languages. You can go ahead and check if you want to go through the tutorial or not. So if you watch this video, may or may not want to go ahead and do the tutorial. We'll walk through the tutorial just for the sake of this video, just kind of help you out with some things. We're going to go ahead and talk about the master volume. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to lower a lot of the sound so you're not hearing a lot of the clicking. So we'll go ahead and click on that, apply. From a graphics perspective, you can switch it out, do the framed and so forth, or I should say the windowed full screen and all that fun stuff. Depending on the capabilities of your machine, you can adjust it to the best. It's not really a heavy game as far as a lot of load on your machine, but you may or may not need to do that just to make sure everything's running smoothly. Then after you're done with everything, go ahead and hit OK. For the sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and just do single player mode. Probably easiest just to kind of give you an idea of the feel for it. If we get enough interest of people within the game itself, we'll go ahead and do a follow-up video where we'll talk about some more details around the game itself, and really jump in there with some of the harder aspects of the game. So we're going to go ahead and click on single player. We're going to do kingdom mode where we can go ahead and just build out as much as possible if we want to. I'm actually going to go ahead, I think, turn this volume down. It seems a little loud for me, but maybe it's just through my headphones. It's a little louder than I want it to be. So we're going to go ahead. They have 3 scenarios. The kingdom is where you're trying to just get the highest score. That's what we're going to do just for example purposes. They also have scenario modes where you go ahead and play with certain restrictions. And you can, while you're doing this, you can go ahead and unlock additional scenarios. And then there's puzzles where you can go ahead and play a series of increasingly difficult placement games, basically trying to continue to improve against harder and harder styles or harder and harder feels of the game itself. Let's go ahead and just do kingdom mode, which will allow us to go ahead and select it from the top down. Easiest is at the top. bottom is the hardest, and then you have the choice of the different terrains. So if you're playing with multiple players, or there's a couple of your friends that are playing together, you're going to probably want to go with a larger terrain, because then you're going to have more space to really go against each other. For my sake, I'm going to go ahead and do the small terrain, and then play that way. See, what it's going to do is it's going to give you a number of different decks that are available as you progress through, which is similar along all different aspects of the smaller. And it looks like even in the harder ones, it's all going to be the same decks that are available. So we're going to go ahead and play the small scope, or the small region. That's easy, just so I can go ahead and show you some of the details. So go ahead and click on Start Game, and we're going to go ahead in here. It's going to load up the game for us, and we're going to go ahead and try and build what they have here as much as possible. Again, I am not an expert at the game, so please understand that as we're going through this. I am not an expert. But we're going to walk through it together and just kind of get an idea, see if we all know or all enjoy the style of game. So what's going to start, in order to move from side to side, left to right within the region itself, you don't use the cursor. Well, you can use the right click of the button. You click it down and it drags all around, or you can use the WASD controls on your keyboard to zoom around. And if you want to rotate the map, you go ahead and hit Q or E, and that'll allow you to rotate itself. And then if you want to go ahead and zoom in and zoom out, that's going to be where you use your scroll button on your mouse, which will allow you to go in and out. All right, the first thing that we're going to do in the game is we got to go ahead and put our keep, which is basically the castle where our king is going to relax and be in, and we're going to build up from there. So you kind of want to go ahead and find a good spot for that. So before we even get to that, let's go ahead and talk about down here. This is going to be your keep. These are the cards that you're going to be able to use, and you're going to see as we play along, there's going to be more and more cards throughout here. Then it's going to go ahead and show you over here is essentially kind of your draw progress circle. The more times you get this to go around by laying different cards and getting more points every time you lay a card down, the more cards you're going to be able to use as you're going through. Over here is going to be your keep progress bar, your main area that allows you to upgrade and add additional decks to your playing style. That's where this is going to be. You can also see your progress bar across here. As we're playing, you're going to see this get filled up. Every card you lay down there and the points that you're going to get. Essentially, the goal of the game is to try and get as many points as possible and build the biggest kingdom that you can possibly build as you're going through the process. Every time you see this little castle here, you're going to upgrade your keep, and you're going to be able to add additional cards to it. We'll show you all that here in a few seconds. On the right here, you have a couple options. You have the merge building, which we'll get to in a few minutes. These are the decks that are available currently. Since I don't even put the keep down, I don't have any decks available. And then it's going to give us hints that is going to allow us to, it's basically the tutorial. You can go ahead and go through the different parts of the tutorial. It's going to kind of explain things to you. And then at the top here, you have a different area. This is going to be the history. As we're laying cards down, you can go ahead and scroll through your history. We don't need that quite yet. And then if you see I scroll over different biomes or different parts of the map, it's going to show you, it kind of explain what's there. You see here, we got the grasslands and forest. If I go over here, we're going to go ahead and see water and sea. And essentially, if I zoom out here, you're going to see I'm actually kind of a floating island. So what's going to happen is you can't go beyond this. It's not going to expand or anything. This is what you have to work with. So you're going to use this property here, and you're going to try and go ahead and make it the best you can. So it's strategy. It's going to take some trial and error. Understand that every game you play, you probably get a little bit better because you're going to learn different stuff. I'm saying that as a caveat as we get started here, because I'm probably going to make some mistakes. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. In order to start, you got to go ahead and place your keep down, and you got to find a good spot for your keep. So we'll go ahead. Essentially, what your keep's going to be is going to be the main section of your kingdom, we'll call it. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe not the best spot, but we'll go ahead and place the kingdom right here. Again, I'm still learning, so we'll go ahead and have strategies down the road. So you can see I went ahead and I unlocked the keep. We're going to go over to the keep and zoom in just a little bit. So you can see a couple things in here. First of all, it's my keep. That's where I have my stuff. You'll see a little circle here, which indicates that I can go ahead and upgrade my keep, which allows me to unlock the first deck of cards. And you can see it's shining over here, which tells me the exact same thing over here. You can see it's filled up. So to go ahead and do that upgrade, you go ahead and click on that, and it's going to show you a number of different card options that you can go ahead and pick from. Essentially, these are different decks. Within each of these decks, there's going to be different types of cards within the categories that will allow you to go ahead and use them within the game itself, and really go through the process of building out and upgrading your kingdom. So you have, initially you have the forest, and each of these types of decks work well in different biomes. For example, obviously the forestry is going to work best in the forest. Village is actually going to work pretty well all over the place for getting you points. Food works mostly in grasslands, also helps with stones and rivers, kind of just produces your food. And then you have the beverages out there, which also works in quite a few areas. I haven't actually tested the beverages yet, but we're going to go ahead, for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and use, we'll go ahead and use villages to start. I think that's what I started with last time, which is going to give you housing and other different things that you can go ahead and put out there. And you can see it works well in a lot of different lands. So let's go ahead and start with that. In order to upgrade and get to additional decks, I have to go ahead and put down and get points all the way up to here, which will give me an upgrade. And then you'll see here I have a 1 here now, which allows me to basically shuffle and deal some of the cards in my deck. So if I go ahead and draw a deck, what it's going to do, it's going to give me the decks that I have the options for, which is only village since we just started the game. And if I click on that, since I'm just starting the game, I can put out cottages, and these are essentially the bonuses that it's going to go ahead and give you for the cottages. You can essentially see that it works well near rivers, near seas, near longhouses. So we'll go ahead and click on this because we've got to go ahead and put some in here. And you can see as I'm dragging this over the areas, you can see right above is the points that I will get for putting it down. And the points are based on the areas around it, what resources are in the areas around it itself. So you can see if I put it here, I'm going to go ahead and get 17 points. If I go all the way over here, I get 5. And it is a number of different reasons why you may or may not get different points. You can see some highlighted here that shows the grasslands and different stuff. You can see this is, I believe, let me see what that is. I'm actually going to go ahead and close out of this. If you go ahead and unselect the box, you can go ahead and drag your cursor over. You're going to see the rivers features. So let's go ahead back here, and we'll put one actually close to here, which is going to go ahead and give me 17 points to start. Again, not sure if it's the right selection, but it's close to a lot of different items that work well. So let's go ahead and put that in there. So now I have that in there. I'm going to put a few more because my goal right now is to go ahead and get to the upgrade, so I can go ahead and add some things like either forestry or food production. So we have that in there. We'll go ahead and put a few more out here just to get them available and get the points upgraded. We'll have better selections or better options down the road. This is just, we got a 20 here, so we'll go ahead and do the 20. Again, just learning how to play the game. So you can see there's another one. I'm actually going to save that one for food, so that'll be down the road. I'm going to save this for forestry and things like that. So I don't want to use those quite yet, those spots. So I'm just scrolling around. This actually might be a good spot. We'll go ahead and put that in there. And there we go. You can see I got to the castle here just by putting a few down there. So I'm right there, but I'm also here to the point where I can go ahead and draw from the deck again. Get some more of those houses, and it looks like I'm going to have to go just a little bit more in order to get that upgrade to the keep. So I'll go ahead and place down one more of these, and it'll probably be, there's a reason I'm kind of hesitating here, but let's go ahead and put, save those. Um, Essentially, as you can keep putting cards down and you're getting points, not only are you going to upgrade the keep, but you're also going to upgrade the deck. So I'm soon going to have the option to go ahead and put in um, uh, town squares. So you want to be a little strategic about that. You also don't want to take up things like the forest here. So I'll go ahead and just put it right here. I know it's close to the other one, but we went ahead and got the upgrade for the keep. And you can see over here, I got the upgrade for the deck itself. As this fills up and you see it here, I can now do a town square, which if the town square is close to these cottages out there, it gives you a bonus, gives you higher points. But let's go ahead and upgrade my keep. Click on upgrade my keep. I'm now going to have the options for forestry, food, and beverage were there previously. Since I used the villages deck, I now have the option for fishing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go ahead and do forestry. So we'll go ahead and start putting stuff in the forest themselves. And that'll really help. And you can see that upgraded to 60 now. And you can see I now have the logging. So let's go ahead and click on this to deal a deck. And you can see I can upgrade my villages and get the square if I need, or I now have a second deck in here, which allows me to do forestry ones, starting with lumberjacks. And lumberjacks are pretty simple. You put them in forest areas, all the forest areas that are around them. It gives you bonuses. If there's lumberjacks that are nearby, it actually decreases the value. So we're going to want areas like over here, down here, as long as they're not within range, and all that sort of stuff as much as we can as far as getting the forestry in there. So let's go ahead and click on this. You can see there are higher points. So I can go ahead and I can actually grab like a 30 here, which is big. So we'll go ahead and do that. So that gives me a nice 30 points at 25, 25. I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see if there's any way I can squeeze a 30 out of here now. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see I got another 25. So I quickly got 50 points there. And I'm going to go ahead and grab another one, which I actually am able to do forestry or forester now, which is an upgraded one. And if I put close to these, it's going to actually give me some bonuses there. So let's go ahead and click on that. And now I have the forester. So you can see here, as long as it's near Royal Forest or Lumberjack, it's going to give me bonuses. So it's nice little bonuses there. In addition to that, there's these things called merged buildings that if you put certain things close to each other, it's going to give you essentially a merged and higher points or additional 25 points just for having those close to each other, which is a nice little bonus, which we're going to do here now just as an example. I can do it in the woods here, or I can go ahead, as long as I do it near the lumberjack. You see this specific shape that you need to make, so I would have to go boom, 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 or I can go down here, which might actually be better. Let me actually rotate just a little bit. So if I go boom, 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 it's going to give me a little bit of bonus, and this may not be exactly where I want to do it, but we'll go ahead and do that just for picture sake, so you're aware of it. So let's go ahead and do this. And let's see if I can get one more of these. Forestry, there we go. And that's going to, when I do this, it's going to give me a bit of a bonus. You're going to see, boom, you see that little circle plus the 25. So it gives me a bonus as far as the points go, and they all work together, and it becomes a royal forest. So it merges pretty nicely and gives you some additional points that you can go ahead and use. So there's that. Just shows you a little bit of it, and you can see I gained a lot of points just by going through that process and putting those in there. So I can do similar over here if I want to. Go ahead and put these four together and get another royal forest. So let's hope we can get some more of those. There we go, and we'll do that again. That gives you a nice little bonus with all those put together, plus you get the bonus of the lumberjacks, and I'm jumping up the points a lot just by using this. So that was a discovered royal forest. We also have these here, which is a cottage. I can do a little more complex ones, and then there's some question marks out there. And again, just for example sakes, let's go ahead and do this one up here. To see, I'll probably do boom, boom. Probably not the best spot to do it. So, again, not necessarily what I wanted to do as far as the location goes, but hey, this is for the video just to show you what it looks like if you go ahead and do it. So let's go ahead and do, that is not what I wanted. If you make a mistake like I just did, you can actually go ahead and just for the last tile that you put down, you can go ahead and undo it. So I can undo this. I just can't undo any of the other ones. Since I made a mistake, I actually wanted to put a cottage down and not the forestry. What you can do is you can go ahead here and click on this button, which undoes the last of the building placement. So I go ahead and do that, and you can see it jump back. And let's go ahead and actually do the cottage. What I wanted to do, which is going to unlock one of those merged buildings just by having that there. And you can see, boom, just big upgrade right there. And I got a demolition, which is, you can demolition built buildings, which is essentially doing an undo. But you see I now have a longhouse there. And if I put any of my other cottages in that area, it's going to give me an overall bonus, which is great to see. So your goal is to do more and more of these as possible. There is the other one here, which we'll probably go ahead and just test out, which is 3 cottages, 2 lumberjacks, a square, and a question mark building, which is not available yet. So actually, we're going to hold off on that one. I think I need some of the food that's available for that itself, which is another category that we have out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on the villages, which opens up the square here. And we're going to go ahead and see the bonuses that a square is going to go ahead and give us. So we'll go ahead and put the square here. It gives me 15. And then if I put more of the cottages around and make some more longhouses, that's actually going to give me more of a bonus. So we'll go ahead and do that here. Boom, boom, boom. And there we did. We went ahead and got another one, which gave me another demolish, but it's right there. So it gives me more and more of a bonuses. And you saw I got a Hamilton card in there, which is great. It gives me an additional option that's out there. So if I take a look at my decks, I still have the 2 that I mentioned. I have 2 of the merged buildings that are identified, and this is really pushing to go ahead and upgrade to this one so I can get another card, which I'll most likely use the food for. But now we have some additional options. What I can do is I can go ahead and put some more of the villages in here, which gives me another square. I wonder if I put a square here, that's going to give me minus. You see, you got to be careful where you put certain things because it's too close to another square, so you will actually get a minus for doing that. So I'm actually going to go ahead and see if I can go ahead and put another one of those longhouses in here. I'll need to go ahead and do another village. And there we go. And boom. Oh, that's something you have to be careful about. It was this, but because it's different elevations, it doesn't necessarily count. So I may have made a little bit of a mistake there, which is fine. We're learning. It's part of the fun of the game. So we'll go ahead, and if I wanted to do, I can go ahead and demolish it, and that will get rid of it, or I can go ahead and undo it if that's what I want to do, which is fine. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to waste one of those on this. But let's go ahead down here. What we're going to do is do another one of the royal forests, and then I'll go ahead and we'll put the lumberjack in here first, which is a nice 30 there. So let's go ahead and put that here. And then what we can do is, if I want to go ahead and put another forestry there, that's going to be a problem. It's going to reduce. So I can go the different big forest areas, and we can go ahead and put forestry in there just to go ahead and give us that bonus. You can see we already did that down here. We have the royal forest that we put in there. And that's how you're going to go ahead and play the game. You're going to go ahead and build up. You're going to go ahead and get points. As you can see up here, I actually am just about to a point where I can do an upgrade to my forest cards. And then I'm about a little more than halfway to go ahead and do another upgrade to my village cards. So let's go ahead and put some more forestries in there. I just have to be careful the way I do this. I think I would want to do it that way. So there we go. We just did an upgrade. So now I have hunting grounds, which gives me even more bonus. It's a higher tier style card. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is open those cards up. And it's going to show you I got hunting grounds and I got the forestry. So let's go ahead and grab those. And then the hunting grounds I'm going to need, if it's near a forest settlement or a royal forest. As you can see, I now have the option to go ahead and do what looks like another merge building that includes the hunting ground. So I want to take a look at that and see if I can find a spot that'll work at. Probably would have been good right here, but I don't know if I can go ahead and do that now. So let's go ahead and scroll around and see if we can put anything in here. Maybe we'll go ahead and attempt it down here. You got to be careful because this is one of the bigger ones. Just trying to take a look. Maybe I'll test that out a little bit later because I can't quite find a spot that I like that'll work pretty well for that. So instead of looking to go ahead and do a forest settlement, I'm going to go ahead and do put it near a royal forest. And then where there's some game, you can see this deer down here. Some game. I got a royal forest that's going on right there. So I can actually go ahead and put it. It's 34 options. Let's go ahead and do a 34. And there we go. That gives you a nice little bonus. And we're getting closer and closer to that upgrade there, which is great. So we are moving forward. And let's go ahead and do another. See if we can go ahead and do another one of these. Boom, 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 boom. And then we'll do a settlement or a square there. So boom, boom. And square here. Do a nice little bonus there. And if I can go ahead and get one more cottage, there we go. We'll finish that. Give me another nice little bonus there, which is great. So there we go. We are inching closer and closer to that. We've got a nice little village going on down here. There's a cloud over that, so it looks a whole lot darker. But they're doing a nice job with this. I'm curious. Again, we are in pre-release right now, so there's a lot more to come with this. Let's go ahead and play to the point where I can go ahead and upgrade again, show you the food, and we'll see what happens from there. So I'm going to go ahead and do another, maybe we'll go ahead and do another one of these, and we'll do another square. Boom, 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 boom. Got that. And then a square here is going to allow me to upgrade my keep. There we go. And we also got an upgrade here. So we have an addition. Now we have a market building that we can go ahead and add in here. So before I upgrade that, let's go ahead and just show you the market building. There we go. And the bonuses of that is near a forest settlement and near a longhouse. So it's actually better to be closer to a forest settlement. So if I can put it there. This actually would have been a better option then. If I would have done, just taking a look here, you can go ahead and do a 20 there. Go ahead and do that. Gives you a nice little reach there. So let's go ahead and now upgrade my keep. I wish these clouds would get out of the way. I think down here you have the option to go ahead and hide different tiles if you want to, or hide the grid, but you can't hide the clouds. So let's go ahead and click on this. So we can go ahead and select a new one. So now you see the food, you see the fishing, and you see the beverages, which are all on last time. And now there is the city. Just to continue to be able to fill up different spaces, I'm going to go ahead with the food. And then in a future video, if we continue to move forward with this, we can go ahead and do the city and expand from there. So you go ahead, and I now have another deck slot. This is up to 90. So we can go ahead and deal our food out there, which is the new one, which is gathering. So what we're looking for here are berry bushes, and mountains are going to give us the biggest bonus. So let's go ahead and click on that. We actually have a nice 42, 47 here. So we'll obviously use that one, which will give us a nice little bonus reach there. Let's look for any more mountains or any other areas that give us the big bonuses. Not seeing a ton. So we'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit and see if we can find any patches of berry bushes. So these are the berry bushes here. So I can go and grab a 36 there, which may actually end up being a good spot for us to put. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it there, which gives us a nice little bonus reach there. And then one or two more. Oh, a 54 there, that's perfect. So we'll go ahead there, and I think we're getting pretty close to the farm. And we'll go ahead and do one more here of the food. I think we got a 56 or 50. Ooh, we got a 70 there. There we go. That's a huge. And now I can go ahead and do grain fields, which is big. So the grain fields, click on that. And the grain fields are going to give you farmsteads are going to be the best, which I don't have. Longhouses, which will actually work out pretty well. So let's go up here. And it's going to give me bonuses around my longhouses. You can zoom out just a little bit. Right there and here. So we'll just continue to progress there. So that's actually where I'm going to wrap up this video. As you can see, there's a lot of strategy that goes with it. So you can go ahead and try and build up your city, and you got to go ahead and do the merge, which gives you extra bonuses as far as combining the different areas. A lot of strategy with it, a lot of replayability with it. So if you go ahead and you're playing and you say, oh, I just learned I should have done this, could have moved this like down here where I would have got another square in there or something else in there. But we'll go ahead and do something like that. And they kind of build off each other. So, and you can go ahead and switch to the different game types, whether it's the different scenarios or the puzzles where they give you certain ways you can learn and test out different things. So what are my thoughts of the game itself? I think it's interesting, especially for something that's early alpha, basically early release, we'll call it. It's not early alpha, it's early release. I wish they would add a little bit more to it, like maybe different goals or achievements that you can go ahead. I'm curious to see how it works with multiplayer because I think it's turn-based. So I would go, the other player would go, I would go, and so forth. So it's overall a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Go ahead and comments down below. Let me know if it's something that you want me to see, want me to play more. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.